Good morning, and thank you for joining us here at Unity's Spiritual Center, Denver. We're so glad you chose to spend part of your morning with us. And if you're not watching this in the morning, we're just glad you chose to spend part of your day with us anytime and anywhere you are. Welcome to Unity Spiritual Center, Denver. It's my pleasure. I'm David Howard, Senior Minister here, and I'm so glad to welcome you here this morning. I want you to know that Unity Spiritual Center Denver is a welcoming, loving, inclusive community, and we just are so glad that you chose to be part of us. I want to invite you now to say our creed with us. It's what we say here at Unity Spiritual Center Denver every Sunday, and it truly is what we believe and the values that we hold. And so let's say it together. Our God is love. Our race is human. Our faith is oneness. Thank you. So I want to share with you a reading this morning from Eric Butterworth, and this is his book, Discover the Power Within You. It is one of the primary texts in Unity, of Unity metaphysics. And Eric Butterworth, if you're not familiar with Eric Butterworth, he's a prolific writer, a Unity minister, teacher, and probably one of the best known Unity ministers ever, really. So this is from his book, Discover the Power Within You. And let me be sure I find the right place. The word heaven comes from the Greek word uranos, which literally means expanding. The kingdom of heaven, then, is the principle of expansion. Life is a limitless experience in an expanding universe. The very nature of life is growth. This is why Jesus, in trying to explain the kingdom of heaven, used such illustrations as the sower going forth to sow, the mustard seed, the little leaven that leaveneth the whole lump. A strange lot of illustrations if he is talking about some place in the skies to which we go at some future time. Life is growth and unfoldment, and life is lived from the inside out. How few people really know this? The average person lives his life from outside in. He frustrates his potential when he lets his level of consciousness be determined by what people say, what conditions appear to be, what he reads in the newspaper, or I'm going to add, what he watches on television. He becomes little more than a barometer that registers the conditions of his world. Then he is caught up in the dilemma of whether to conform to the world around him or spend his life resisting it. Jesus came declaring, "You shall know the truth, and the truth shall make you free," from John 8:32. It really doesn't matter what happens around you or to you. All that really matters is what happens in you. Your thoughts about conditions and people. And you can control your thoughts, for you are the master of your mind, or you can be. I think especially with what we're seeing today in the newspapers, on the television, in the world around us, it's an important reminder that we are the ones who are in control of our own consciousness, our own thinking, our own feeling. As he said, life is lived from the inside out, not the outside in. And so I just encourage us to remember that, and to remember that we can change our thinking, and we can turn off the television, we can stop reading the news, and we can stop being conformed to the world, to the conditions of the world. Instead, we can, as Paul said, be transformed by the renewing of our minds. And we renew our minds through reading things like this, through prayer, through meditation, and through other inspirational avenues. And so I just want to remind us of that and how important it is for us to stay centered in that awareness, especially with all that is happening around us. So thank you for that. And now, we're so delighted to have Lauren Shealy with us again this morning. So now I invite you to sing with her as she leads us in Surely the Presence as we go into a time of prayer.
Surely the presence of love is in this place. I can feel the mighty power and the grace. There's a holy hush around us. I see glory on each face. Surely the presence of love is in this place.
And so I invite you to close your eyes if you are in a place where that's safe and comfortable, and take a deep breath, allowing the breath to bring your full attention and focus into the now. Closing your outer eyes, releasing your attention from the outer world as much as you possibly can in this moment, and focus within, going into that secret chamber of your heart where you commune with that divine life, that presence, the power, the energy, the love, the peace, the joy, the abundance, the safety, the wisdom, all the good ideas and concepts that we think of when we think of that divine life that is living itself in us fully, completely, wholly in every moment. And this is our opportunity to center our awareness there, to claim that truth as our own, to know that that life is our life. And in that life, we know who we truly are. And we are comforted, and we are healed, and we are uplifted in the awareness of that life. We know that that is our truth, that the life of God, the life of the divine, the unconditional love of God is our truth. It is our only truth. And as we center ourselves there, we bring that to every encounter that we have in the world. We shine that light forth into the world, and in doing that, we change the world. We inform the conditions of the world by bringing our light to the world. And so in that awareness, we do that. We center ourselves there. We know that is our truth. And as we know it for ourselves, we know it for each other. We know it for all of humanity. Indeed, we know it for all of creation. That creation is the expression of that divine life, and in that we are one. We are whole. We are complete. We celebrate this truth that we have the power right here and right now to claim it, to know it, to be it. And as we know it is so, and as we allow it to be, so it becomes. And so it is. Amen.
We come with beautiful secrets. We come with purposes written on our hearts, written on our souls. We come to every morning with possibilities only we can hold, that only we can hold. Redemption comes in strange places, small spaces, calling out the best of who we are. And I want to add to the beauty, to tell a better story. Oh, shine with a light that's burning up inside. Whoa. It brings redemption to life and work, to our lives and our work. It comes in loving community. It comes in helping the soul find its worth. The soul find its worth. Redemption comes in strange places, small spaces, calling out the best of who we are. And I want to add to the beauty, to tell a better story. Oh, shine with a light that's burning up inside. Whoa. To be beautiful, and this is grace, an invitation. Redemption comes in strange places, small spaces, calling out our best. And I want to add to the beauty. Whoa, and I want to shine
So thank you, Lauren. Thank you for being here, and thank you for singing that song. You know, we were earlier this week thinking about songs to sing for Lauren to sing today. And that song kept coming to my mind. And so I thought, Lauren has sung that song before. It's a beautiful song, and she does it so beautifully. And I thought, that's a perfect song for today. I don't know why it's the perfect song for today, but it's the perfect song for today. And you know, I am reluctant to admit this, but I have never before this week really paid attention to the lyrics of that song. And I looked up the lyrics to the song, and I thought, you know, sometimes songwriters are just open vessels. There's open channels for truth. And this is one of those songs. As I read the lyrics, I thought, wow, this is one of those songs that speaks so eloquently in such economy of word, and it speaks such deep truth. And so I thought, you know, I want to explore this song. And so I want to explore this song with you today. So I don't think I've ever done this before. I don't think I've ever used a song lyric as a basis for a talk. But I thought this was so perfect because it really matched up with everything else that I was thinking about, everything that I was journaling about, writing about, meditating on this week. And I just love it when that comes together. I love it when Spirit just shows up and says, this is how it's going to work. And so I just want to share it with you. I'm sure you heard every lyric because Lauren does it so beautifully. But I'm going to share that with you because I think it is so insightful and so beautiful. We come with beautiful secrets. We come with purposes written on our hearts, written on our souls. And I believe that is so true, that each of us comes into this life experience with a purpose that is written on our hearts and our souls. It's sort of as if it is just encoded in us, encoded in our very DNA, this spark of purpose and life. And we come into this life experience to live that, to express that. You know, in Unity we often call that the Christ of us, the true light of us that comes into this world. And we're each a unique expression of that. It's so beautiful to think about. We're all such amazing, unique, wonderful expressions with our own gifts and talents, our own purposes, to give and to share and to just give to the world. I just love that. And then it says, we come to every new morning with possibilities that only we can hold. Isn't it exciting to think about that we can wake up in the morning and know that the morning, this day, is filled with possibility that I have yet to even begin to imagine. And possibilities that sometimes I can't even begin to imagine, because what I imagine are things that I've already seen or already done, things that I've seen other people do, things are inventions or things that already exist. But we have the possibilities within us, the potential and the possibility to do something different, to do something unusual, to do something new. Every morning, every day is a possibility. You know, Charles Fillmore, the co-founder of Unity, said, "It is your mission to be all that you can imagine God to be." Imagine if we woke up every morning and said, my mission today is to be all that I can imagine God to be all the love, all the joy, all the peace, all the enthusiasm, all the wisdom, all the prosperity, all that I can possibly imagine God to be. That is my possibility for today. Do I wake up with that every day? Absolutely not. But I want to. I want to be in that place where I just get out of bed and think, wow, possibility today. I think it was Emma Curtis Hopkins who had this affirmation that she would say, I don't know what good you have for me today, God, but bring it on. I don't know what good you have for me today, but bring it on. I am ready for whatever possibility might show itself for me today. So I love that idea. And then the song says this, and this is what the first time I read it, I thought, I just don't know if I can get into that. But it says this, redemption comes in strange places, small spaces, calling out the best of who we are. Redemption comes in strange places, small spaces, calling out the best of who we are. What is this idea of redemption? In the traditional church, redemption is about like salvation. It's about saving ourselves from sin or being saved from sin. In the traditional church, it's Jesus comes to redeem us of our sin. Well, in Unity, of course, we don't teach that. We believe that redemption, it comes, which I love, redemption comes when we awaken to that Christ self that we are, when we realize who and what we truly are as expressions of the Christ. Because sin for us is something that is against the idea of God. As Butterworth says, sin is anything that frustrates the flow. Anything that we allow to get in the way of us being fully and completely an expression of that Christ self that we are. That is all that sin is. And we are the ones who get to choose. We are the ones who block the flow through our thinking, through our limitations, through the idea that we're limited, the idea that we're separate, the idea that we're unworthy. All of those things block the flow. And that's what we think of as sin. As Butterworth also says, we're not punished for our sin. We are punished by our sin. Meaning that we're the ones that suffer. We're the ones who have to face the consequences of our own sin, which is simply just our thoughts of limitation and lack that block that flow. And so, again, I know this economy of word, which is not my forte, as you know. I love how these writers just say it in such short phrases. It comes in small places, in small, strange places in small spaces. It comes to us in our daily lives. We don't have to go out looking for it. We just get to be aware of it. That every opportunity, every encounter, everything that we experience is an opportunity calling us to awaken to who we truly are. Those strange places or small spaces in our lives that we might never expect. But things show up in our lives. I believe everything in our lives is an opportunity showing us where we are blocking the flow of that Christ life. And if we're willing to see it as that, then everything in our lives can be an opportunity to be redeemed, if we want to use that word. And so it comes in places that we would never even imagine. But we get to be alert and aware of when it shows up. And the next lyric is, and I want to add to the beauty. I want to tell a better story. I love that. I want to add to the beauty. I want to tell a better story. Our opportunity is add to the beauty of this world, the beauty of the consciousness, the beauty of life itself. And I love this idea that we add to the beauty by telling a different story. Well, what story are you telling? What story am I telling? What story are we telling about ourselves? Are we telling a story of limitation? Are we telling a story of unworthiness? Are we telling a story of resentments? Are we telling a story of lack? What story are we telling about ourselves, first of all? And if we're telling a story about ourselves that is anything but the story of the Christ living itself in and through and as us, then we're telling a false story. And the story that we tell about ourselves is the life that we're living. If I'm telling a story of limitation and lack about myself, guess what I'm living? Guess what I'm creating? I'm creating my life by the story I tell. And what story am I telling? I invite myself to ask that question. And another question, what story am I telling about the world? You know, it's, as Butterworth said in the reading earlier, it's so easy to take in all this information about what's going on in the world of fear and all this divisiveness. And we want to keep telling the story. We keep wanting to tell the story about how awful it is. We keep wanting to tell the story about how challenging it is. Yes, we are living in a time, an unprecedented time in our world, really, with the pandemic that's going on, with the election fiasco that's happening around us. You know, we are living in an unprecedented time. But are we continuing to tell the story about how awful it is? If we are, guess what we are creating? We are creating over and over and over again the story that we're telling. Let us change the story. Let us change the story we tell. Let us tell the story of the possibility. Let us tell the story about transformation. Let us tell the story about redemption. Let us be the ones who are telling the story of the good and the light and the love. Let us be the ones who are telling the story so that we can add to the beauty of the world. We can add to the beauty of the life of each other. It's important for us to be clear about the story that we're telling. And not to be, as somebody said, an echo chamber for each other about how awful and how bad things are. So it's important for us to be aware of that. And the lyric goes on to say, I want to shine with a light that's burning up inside. You know, Jesus said in Matthew 5:14-16, he said, you are the light of the world. A city built on a hill cannot be hid. No one, after lighting a lamp, puts it under a bushel, but on a lampstand, and gives light to all the house. In the same way, let your light shine before others, so that they may see your good works and give glory to God. You are the light of the world. And that light of the world, that light of Christ, that is born in you and in me, is that light that truly is burning inside of us. It is the light that wants to have its expression through us as us. And it is burning to shine forth, to have its life. So can we approach life with that affirmation? I want to shine with the light of the Christ that is burning inside me, longing to have its life, longing to have its expression, because I know that I am the light of the world, as Jesus said. I am the light of the world. Say that with me now. I am the light of the world. I am the light of the world. I am the light of the world. Own that. Claim that. Be that. Because that is how we are going to bring light and healing to the world. And then she goes on to say, it comes in small inspirations. It brings redemption to life and to work. Exactly what I was talking about. When we awaken to that, when we awaken to the light that we are, we bring that to our lives and to our work and to everything that we do. And that's how we're going to transform the world. And then she goes on to say, it comes in loving community. It comes in helping a soul find its worth. You know, when I read that, I was struck by how we, as a spiritual community, have been separated for 8 months now. I was talking to my prayer partner this week, and we were talking about how things are so different with ministry, and shared that our biggest challenge is how to continue to foster community, how to continue to foster connection with our congregations, because we're not here together. We don't gather together. We're going to be having, a couple of weeks. Well, 1 week from today, actually, will be our usual traditional Thanksgiving feast, where we all come together and we share food and talk and fellowship. Well, we're not going to be able to do that this year because of the COVID situation. And so it's still important for us to know that we are a community, that we can reach out to each other, we can call each other, we can stay in contact with each other. And we're offering an opportunity for you to email us something that you're grateful for. We want to share those on the 22nd next week. And so we want to share your thoughts. And we want to do that so that we can have voices from our community, and so that you can share that with each other. So I just invite you to do that. It's in the newsletter about, we want to have those back by the 18th, which is Wednesday. And so if you have something that you want to share with us about something you're grateful for this year, or something that you've learned through this year and are really grateful for, please share that with us. And we'd also like to have a picture of you so we can show that as we are reading your statement. And I just think it'd be a beautiful way for us to stay in contact with our community. But a community is such an important part of awakening that, being in community with people who share that desire, who share that intention, who share that knowing that we are the Christ in expression, and our opportunity to awaken to that. And community helps us with that. It really does, calling us out to who we truly are. Let's see, what else did I say about that? Then again, she talks about strange places. And then this other piece that she says, this is grace, an invitation to be beautiful. This is grace, an invitation. Now, I don't know about you, but in my traditional Christian background, I understood grace to be something that I could never deserve, was unworthy of, but somehow God, in His infinite wisdom, said, okay, well, you can have this or you can have that. And it was grace. That was grace. I've heard people say, and I guess I probably said it myself, this phrase, there but by the grace of God go I. Well, I will tell you that is one of my pet peeves, hearing people say that. Because when I hear people say that, what I hear them saying is, well, I received God's grace, so I don't have to deal with that. I don't have to have that experience because I am under God's grace, as if everybody is not. So that's no longer my idea of grace. I like to think of grace in the way that the Zen teacher Adyashanti talks about grace in his book, Falling into Grace. And he says this about grace: in essence, grace is anything that helps us truly open our minds, our emotions, our hearts. So grace shows up again in those strange places, the small spaces, anything that shows up that helps us to awaken, that's grace. That's grace showing up. And the truth of it is that you and I live in a constant state of grace. I live in a constant state of grace. Say that with me. I live in a constant state of grace. I live in a constant state of grace. I live in a constant state of grace. Because grace shows up every moment of every day if we're willing to see it and appreciate it and say, that's showing up so I can remember who I am. That's showing up to remind me where I have forgotten, what I have forgotten about me, or maybe what I've forgotten about someone else or the world around me. It awakens me to my truth and to the truth. And so, again, it just ends with this idea, I want to add to the beauty. I want to tell a better story. I want to shine with the light that's burning up inside me. So it's our opportunity. Every moment is our opportunity to awaken to that light that is within us and to shine that light, to add to the beauty of the world, and to tell a story that encourages that beauty, to tell a story about ourselves and about the world that is encouraging, that is supportive, that is inspiring, that is based in the absolute truth of who we are. The absolute truth of who we are as unique, wonderful expressions of that unconditional love, that abiding peace, that radiant joy, the abundance that is all around us. And that is our truth. So can we tell a story that is founded and grounded in that truth and know that and truly, truly add to the beauty? Because as you add to that beauty, you get to feel it. You get to experience it first. And then you get to share it with other people. So again, I want to thank Lauren actually for introducing me to that song in the first place. I don't know how long ago, but I remember her singing it here, and for being willing to sing it and bring it again today, because it is, as I said, if you listen to the lyric and you really take it to heart, it is a message in itself. So thank you for that and for allowing me to explore that with you today. So I invite you now to take a moment to close your eyes if you're in a place where it's safe and comfortable for you to do that. As we go into a time of contemplation, meditation, connection with that Christ light that is within us, that light that is burning inside, that light that is longing to have its life in and through and as you right here and right now. So as you take that breath, allow that breath to bring your awareness deep into your heart space. And as you enter into that space of your heart, I invite you to become aware of that light. You may see it as a flame of a candle. You may see it as a glowing globe of energy. But become fully aware of that light that is shining there, the truth of you, the higher self, the Christ of you. And as you breathe in, allow that light to expand with every breath. Allow that light to expand out and up and down so that light fills your mind. That light is the source of all healing, all cleansing, allowing those limiting thoughts and ideas to be cleansed from your mind. Allowing that light to cleanse your emotional body, cleansing away any resentment, any fear in this moment. Allowing that light to move into your perceptual center and clearing away any ideas or concepts of unworthiness. And allow that Christ to have its life in you through your mind, through your heart, your emotions, through your perceptions. Allow that Christ light to have its life in every cell of your body, awakening every aspect of your physical body to its truth. So that you know in this moment that you truly are the embodiment of the light of Christ. That light that brings light and life to the earth, to the world, to your life. It is that life and that light that shines out from you that truly does add beauty to everything. It raises the energy of everything. And you allow that energy to inform your thinking, to inform the story that you're telling about yourself, to release you from the bonds of any idea that you are separate or apart or different or unworthy, or that anyone else is. You release the idea that you're separate from anyone else and know that we are all one. So allow that light to be your expression right now, the Christ light, having its life in and through and as you this moment, surrendering into that, opening up to the awareness of that life. As we take just a short time in the silence, I invite you just to be with that, feel into that. Connect with that life. Have an experience of it. What does it feel like? What does it sound like? What does it look like? And so as you open up to the realization of who you truly are, as an expression of that life, feel that energy. And say to yourself or aloud, I want to add to the beauty, to shine with the light that's burning inside. I want to add to the beauty. As I open up to the expression of that life that is living in and through and as me now. Take a deep breath. Ground that energy. Breathe that all the way down through the bottom of your feet so you feel it grounded right here, right now. And take a deep breath as you come back into the space where you are, knowing who you are, remembering that, and opening up to the light that you are.
I am opening up in sweet surrender to the luminous love light of the One. I am opening up in sweet surrender to the luminous light of the One.
So now is the time when we have the opportunity to give, to share from our good, to help support the ministry here at Unity Spiritual Center Denver. There are many ways for you to do that. You'll see that on your screen right now. I want to say thank you to those of you who continue to provide your financial support to this center. It is truly meaningful to us and to all of us as a community. And I also want to say thank you to those of you who are with us for the first time, who might be choosing to share from your good to support this ministry. Thank you. And thank you all for all that you do and all that you share. So let us say our offertory blessing together. Divine love as me blesses and multiplies all that I am, all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive. I am thankful.
When a step seems too hard to take, every turn feels like a big mistake. It makes you want to close your eyes and hide. Trust yourself, even if you're scared. Don't give up, don't give in to fear. All the strength you seek, you'll find inside. Make a statement, don't hide yourself out in the open. Step into the spotlight and shine. Be the change, fall like a domino, a chain reaction that sets the world aglow. Be amazed at how it falls in line.
Once again, thank you, Lauren. Thank you for being here with us today. We do appreciate that. It is meaningful for all of us that you choose to share your energy with us in this way. So now I invite you to say with me our closing prayer. The light of God surrounds us. I am the light of God. The love of God enfolds us. I am the love of God. The power of God protects us. I am the power of God. The presence of God watches over us. I am the presence of God. Wherever we are, God is, and so it is. Amen. Now join Lauren as she leads us in singing our closing song, Love Can Move the World.
Love can move the world as the moon in the sky moves the sea. Love can cause the wars to cease. Love can move this world to peace. It's a tide that begins with you and me. Love can move the world as the warmth of the sun moves the tree. Wind of love increase.